Can starch help with weight management? Yes, absolutely, when it's the right kind. Despite years of popular dieting advice warning against carbohydrates, the truth is that not all starch is created equal. In fact, many starch-rich foods, particularly those high in fiber and minimally processed, can be powerful allies in achieving and maintaining a healthy weight. The key lies in understanding how complex carbohydrates function in the body, how they affect appetite and digestion, and how they support the natural regulation of energy intake without requiring constant calorie counting or deprivation. High-fiber starches, such as those found in legumes, whole grains, root vegetables, and certain fruits, are uniquely satisfying. They fill the stomach, stretch the digestive tract, and trigger satiety hormones that tell the brain, "I've had enough." This satiety effect is one of the most important benefits of consuming these types of starches. When we eat fiber-rich, starchy foods, digestion slows down, allowing blood sugar to rise gently and steadily. This prevents the sharp spikes and crashes that often lead to cravings, fatigue, and overeating later in the day. That feeling of fullness lasts longer, reducing the temptation to snack unnecessarily or reach for less nourishing options. One of the most valuable aspects of these whole starches is their water-absorbing ability. When fiber from foods like oats, lentils, sweet potatoes, and barley enters the digestive tract, it binds with water, swelling in volume and physically filling space in the stomach. This mechanical effect of volume is a major reason why high-fiber starchy meals feel more satisfying than their low-fiber or high-fat counterparts. A bowl of vegetable stew with beans and brown rice will keep you full for hours, while a small portion of fast food might leave you feeling empty and hungry again shortly after eating. Moreover, the slow digestion of complex starches allows for more balanced insulin levels, which can promote fat burning rather than fat storage. When meals are composed primarily of refined carbohydrates or simple sugars, blood sugar rises rapidly, prompting a sharp insulin response. High insulin levels encourage the storage of fat, especially around the abdomen, and can lead to a cycle of energy highs and lows that drive increased hunger. By contrast, complex starches help keep insulin in check, allowing the body to access and burn stored fat more efficiently. Another powerful component in this picture is resistant starch, a form of starch that resists digestion in the small intestine and acts more like fiber. Found in foods such as green bananas, cooled potatoes, lentils, and whole grains, resistant starch ferments in the colon, feeding healthy gut bacteria and producing short-chain fatty acids like butyrate. These compounds not only support digestive health and reduce inflammation, but they've also been linked to increased fat oxidation and improved energy balance. In other words, some starches don't just help you feel full, they may help shift your metabolism in a healthier direction. There's also a behavioral element to consider. Meals that include high-fiber starches tend to be more grounding and emotionally satisfying. That comfort and satisfaction reduce the psychological drive to keep eating beyond fullness. People who include whole starches in their meals are often better able to sustain consistent eating patterns and avoid cycles of restriction and binging. By feeling nourished and satisfied, they naturally regulate their intake, without needing to rely on rigid food rules or the willpower to resist hunger. It's also worth noting that many cultures with low rates of obesity rely heavily on starch-rich diets. In parts of the world where rice, beans, millet, or potatoes form the basis of everyday meals, people tend to maintain healthier body weights than in places where ultra-processed foods dominate. The traditional Okinawan diet, for instance, which includes large amounts of sweet potatoes and rice, is associated with remarkably low obesity rates and long life expectancy. These examples show us that the issue isn't starch itself, but the processing, packaging, and excesses of the modern diet. In contrast, highly refined starches, such as white bread, pastries, chips, and sugary cereals, have the opposite effect. They're stripped of fiber and nutrients, digested rapidly, and lead to the very blood sugar spikes and cravings that make weight management more difficult. These processed foods may technically be high in starch, but they lack the structure and density that promote satiety. The body absorbs their calories quickly, but they provide little lasting satisfaction, which leads to overeating and nutrient deficiency over time. Incorporating the right kinds of starch into your daily meals is not just helpful, it's often essential for sustainable weight management. These foods are naturally low in calorie density, but high in volume and nutrition. They encourage you to eat slowly, chew thoroughly, and engage more fully with your meals. They support your body's internal hunger and fullness signals, making weight regulation a more intuitive and less stressful process. Unlike crash diets or low-carb regimens that leave people tired, hungry, and mentally drained, a diet built around high-fiber starches offers steady energy, contentment, and freedom from constant food anxiety. So yes, starch can absolutely help with weight management, when it's the right kind. Whole food, fiber-rich starches from legumes, whole grains, and starchy vegetables are not only deeply nourishing, they're metabolically intelligent. They work with the body, not against it, to support fullness, regulate hormones, and promote a healthy balance between energy intake and energy use. In a world where dieting often feels like a struggle against biology, these kinds of starches offer a refreshing truth. You don't have to fight your body to maintain a healthy weight. You can feed it well, trust its signals, and let the right foods do the work for you.